All right, y'all, day one. Y'all, we talked about it. Excited about the opportunities, right? Excited about the opportunity we have. Starts right now. The devil's in the details. Everything we do. Detail-oriented, purposeful, intentional, high level of communication.
Caitlin Clark stepped into the entrance of the Gamebridge Fieldhouse practice facility early this morning, and the atmosphere immediately shifted. Cameras flashed, staff members looked on from above, and there was a clear sense that the start of Indiana Fever training camp had officially taken on major attention across the league. She made her way through the facility, took her place at her locker, laced up, and walked onto the hardwood at Salesforce Court without making any public statement. But even in silence, her presence set the tone for the day and reminded everyone exactly who the focal point of this team is expected to be. Opening day of Indiana Fever training camp is now underway, and early impressions from Indianapolis suggest a level of intensity and pace that will draw widespread discussion across the WNBA. On the court, Clark quickly assumed a central role in the offensive flow. She pushed the tempo in transition, moved the ball decisively, and consistently created scoring opportunities for teammates with sharp passing and quick reads. Her range and willingness to shoot early in possessions also stretched the defense and opened space for others. Rather than easing back into rhythm, she played with confidence and assertiveness, immediately engaging in full-speed reps and competitive action. The overall pace reflected a system built around speed, spacing, and constant pressure in transition from the opening session. It was clear that the Fever are emphasizing a fast, aggressive style of play, with Clark operating as the primary initiator of the offense.
This year's draft. Now, we're going to jump right into this thing, man. One picture has sent the internet in uproar, bro. That is seeing Caitlin Clark back in the gym. This is the photo from Tony East that had surfaced online. So as you guys can see here, Caitlin Clark is in the gymnasium, the Fever practice facility, and she's ready to go, man. Today is the first day of training camp for the Indiana Fever. Now, what we could expect is a lot of clips. Hopefully we get some clips from Caitlin Clark and the team, kind of seeing them gelling.
Across mainstream coverage, few analysts are addressing how significantly recent online narratives may have misinterpreted the on-court reality. For several days, a dominant storyline suggested that the Indiana Fever organization was actively working against Caitlin Clark, claims that leadership was deliberately attempting to diminish her influence, reshape her role, or reduce her impact within the offense. Some narratives even framed roster decisions, including the selection of a defensive-minded guard like Raven Johnson, as part of a coordinated plan to limit Clark's usage as a primary playmaker. Others suggested that head coach Stephanie White intended to shift Clark off the ball and transform her into a more stationary scoring option. However, once training camp began at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse, the on-court reality was far more straightforward. Clark immediately took control of the offense, setting the tempo, initiating possessions, and directing play with confidence. The team operated at a fast pace, emphasizing spacing, transition play, and ball movement flowing through her decision-making. Raven Johnson, meanwhile, fulfilled a typical rookie role, competing defensively, learning the system, and adapting to the speed and physical demands of the professional level. She was not replacing Clark or competing for her role, but contributing in the capacity she was drafted for: defensive pressure, effort, and development within the system. That said, this does not invalidate the concerns that emerged earlier in the week. The communication from Indiana Fever leadership leading into camp created confusion and frustration among segments of the fan base. Comments from coaching and front office figures about roles, positioning, and system structure were interpreted by many as unclear or poorly framed, fueling widespread speculation and backlash. Still, there is a clear distinction between narrative-driven assumptions and what actually unfolds on the floor. Day one of camp demonstrated a straightforward basketball reality. Clark remains the central offensive engine, with the system running through her creation and decision-making. Whatever external debates may exist, the implementation on the court reflected a simple structure: Caitlin Clark leading the offense, surrounded by players executing their defined roles within that framework.
Short time with you and Stephanie as your head coach. What do you appreciate the most about what you're learning from her right now here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've always admired about Steph, and I've known her for quite some time now, obviously not on the level that I do now, but like she just has a really, really good basketball mind. And if you listen to her call NBA games or college games, like her knowledge of the game is far better than most people. Like she understands how the game is supposed to be played, situation basketball. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to put people in positions to be successful, 1 through 5 on the floor. She's going to put us in lineups that are successful. But also like she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to coach you. And that's something I'm really grateful for. But also like she's just been a good sounding board for me.
Listen closely to those words with an analytical perspective. Caitlin Clark addressed the media and emphasized that she understands how to position teammates in situations where they can succeed. She described the importance of arranging players in combinations that maximize efficiency and performance that in the highly scrutinized environment of professional sports. That type of statement goes beyond a simple compliment. It can also be interpreted as a clear expectation that the system around her should be designed intelligently, with players placed in roles that match their strengths. Naturally, this raises a key basketball question. Where does Clark herself produce at the highest level? The answer is in a primary ball-handling role, controlling tempo, initiating offense, and operating as the central playmaker where her decision-making and passing ability are fully utilized. From that perspective, any system that limits her involvement with the ball would directly conflict with the very strength she is known for. At the same time, rookie Raven Johnson also made a strong early impression. She appeared composed, confident, and comfortable in the professional environment, showing no signs of being overwhelmed by the attention surrounding the team. Her role, as expected, centered on effort, defense, and adjusting to the pace of the league. Overall, early indications suggest a structure where roles are beginning to take shape clearly. Clark as the primary creator, and younger players like Johnson contributing within defined responsibilities as they develop.